What's up, trainers? This is David from Common RDW here, and let's get energized for some more Pokemon Horizons. You're watching Energized, the Pokemon web series from Common RDW, where we talk about all things Pokemon, whether it's the anime, the video game, or in this case, Pokemon Horizons, the most recent anime from Pokemon featured on Netflix. So whether you've seen the episode already or you're just checking it out for the first time, tune in, enjoy it. Check out the first episode if you haven't already, where we talk about the pilot episode, where we get introduced to Liko and Sprigatito, our new main characters for the series. But on this episode, we are going to be talking about episode 3 of Pokemon Horizons, where Liko is going to find Sprigatito, who in the previous episode actually got lost. Or rather, didn't get lost, but was rather taken away by the Explorers, who are the antagonistic team of the Pokemon Horizons series so far. Before we get started here, comment down below what you think of Pokemon Horizons, if you like Liko, if you like Sprigatito, if you like Roy, the other character of the show, or if you think Captain Pikachu is just straight up OP, because I think he is amazing. So we open up the episode with Liko basically having a flashback where she's talking to her grandmother, and we already knew that she got the pendant from her grandma, but we didn't know anything about it, whether what her grandma looked like, how she got the pendant, anything like that. But this is kind of like a little bit of a flashback conversation where her grandma says, if you wear this, you'll find yourself on an adventure with Pokemon by your side, and you'll be fine. And her grandma has an Arcanine, which is pretty cool because Arcanine's a really dope Pokemon. But also, we've never really seen her grandma before. She doesn't look familiar. Everyone thought before the show came out that Liko was going to be like the child of Ash, like we're going to have like a Pokemon Shippuden situation going on, or Liko was going to be related to a character that we've seen before. But yeah, I've never seen her grandmother before, and she doesn't look familiar. So this is like a whole different set of characters in general, so that's pretty interesting, just to get that kind of confirmed and just show what her grandma looks like up front. So after Liko wakes up from that dream, from that flashback situation, turns out that she's on that airship still from the team that rescued her in the previous episode. Previously they were on in a storm, which is how Sprigatito got blown away and taken by the Explorers. But the day is nice, water's calm. She wakes up, and it turns out Freed and Captain Pikachu were out looking for the Explorers to figure out where they were, and turns out that they might have ended up at near some harbor town that they're heading to, so they're gonna dock over there and look into things. So one thing that's really interesting about this little interaction here is that just like Liko, we still don't really know what's going on. We don't know who these people are completely. We know some names, but we don't know the relationship between these characters, if we can trust them or not right now. But Freed actually says Liko's mom told them to be her bodyguards, which we didn't know before. We thought they were just some nice people that decided to help her out and were just random saviors for her, but apparently her mom knows them. So Liko's just like, what are you talking about? And Freed is just like, we'll talk about it later, as he usually does. So we're gonna just keep it moving with that. But at least we know that Liko's mom knows the team. So we dock at the harbor, and everyone kind of gets their own tasks, because we're gonna be trying to find Sprigatito. That's Liko's main goal, but also everyone kind of has their own things that they need to do. So Murdoch, the chef/cook on the ship, he tells his Rockruff to basically track down Sprigatito's scent, since it gives off that sweet aroma, because it's that grass type Pokemon. So if anyone can find it, Rockruff will find it. So Murdoch gives that task to Sprigatito, and then Freed and Captain Pikachu are also going to help Liko look for Sprigatito as well. But then Molly, the pink-haired girl on the ship, she asks Liko to actually help her really quick with picking up some supplies from a nearby Pokemon Center. Liko agrees to help her out with that. And when they get to the Pokemon Center, she just gives Liko a letter saying that this is the order, you just got to pick it up. And she asks if Molly's going to go in with her. And she's just like, no, you're good. She just lets her go in by herself and just waves her off. So that's actually foreshadowing for something that we're going to find out later in the show, so that's really cool. And while Liko is in the Pokemon Center, she walks up to the Nurse Joy, because Nurse Joys is still a thing. That's a constant variable in every single generation of Pokemon. There will be Nurse Joys and there will be Officer Jennies. So she walks up to the Nurse Joy, and she says, hey, I have an order I need to pick up. And they're like, okay, gotcha. But then this girl runs in, and she has a Vulpix in her arms, and she's like, it's dire. It's like a situation where I need immediate attention on my Vulpix. And the Nurse Joy's like, okay, we got this. We're gonna get your order in a second, but we gotta help out this girl with her Vulpix really quick. And Liko asks the girl, is she okay? And the girl says that she wasn't like fast enough in calling out moves for her Vulpix, and it got injured in a battle or something like that. And at this moment, this is when Liko realized, like, man, I lost my Sprigatito. I'm not the best at battling, but also it turns out that like it's not just me. Other people also have these issues too when they're starting out as trainers or just in trainers in general. No one's perfect, but I really want to get my Sprigatito back because she doesn't have it right now. Like, that's her partner Pokemon, and she lost it. But talking to this girl made her realize that like she's not the only person that messes up, even though she's like new at this whole thing. So then we cut to where Amethio and the other explorers are. Liko is wondering if Sprigatito's okay, hoping that they're not like torturing it or anything. And we hard cut to Sprigatito actually eating Pokemon food, has a whole bunch of toys on the ground around it. It's actually chilling. It's almost like it's in a Pokemon daycare, because one of the explorers, the female explorer that abducted Sprigatito, is actually just like treating it as if it's her own Pokemon. She's really attached to it, so that's actually kind of funny. But Amethio, turns out it doesn't really look like he doesn't want to hold on to Sprigatito for long. He's just like, I don't really want to use this as a bargaining chip. I just want the pendant, bro. That's all I want. So that's interesting. It doesn't seem like Amethio is really like as evil as we think, although he is obviously an antagonist to Liko and the other crew. But he's just like, I literally have this goal. I don't want to do anything else other than that. I'm not trying to be petty and torture this Pokemon. I literally just want that pendant. So Liko gets the supplies from the Pokemon Center, and Rockruff is also out, like I said before, tracking down Sprigatito. And the female explorer was like, I'm going to go out and get some more Pokemon food for Sprigatito. So she's out at the store in the nearby town from that Pokemon Center. And since Rockruff was out doing recon, ends up picking up the scent from Sprigatito on her, and then starts giving chase to her. And then Liko and the other crew start following the Rockruff. They run into the Explorer, and then she runs away. They give chase. And Amethio just tells her to head to the location where he's located, so that that'll lead Liko and the pendant to him. So it turns out that Sprigatito is inside of a warehouse that's like at the harbor of this town. And that's where Rockruff picks up the scent too. So Liko's about to run in there super recklessly, about to get her stuff destroyed because she doesn't even have a Pokemon with her. So Freed is like, yo, hold up. We need to make a plan. We need to figure this out first. So they have a little powwow. They make a plan that we don't hear. It's off screen. But they go into the warehouse, and then Freed and Cap and Rockruff and Liko encounter Amethio. And he's just like, give me the pendant. And Freed is like, how about I battle you for it? If we win, we give you the pendant. If we win, you give us Sprigatito. If we lose, we give you the pendant. He's like, cool, fine by me. Calls out his Ceruledge. And then Cap and Freed get to battling Amethio again. This is like the third time Freed and Amethio have battled. And none of their battles have ended yet. So hopefully this battle is the one that they finally actually finish, because I actually am enjoying the battles that we're getting between these two. So Liko breaks off with Rockruff while Amethio is basically distracted with the battle, and they find where Sprigatito is being held. So Liko breaks down the door, gets Sprigatito, and she's like, oh my god, I missed you so much. You need to come with me so we can get out of here. And Sprigatito is also like, even though he was being pampered by that female explorer, Sprigatito actually does still really have a connection to Liko. So you can kind of tell at that point that they actually are partners, and Sprigatito isn't just like going with whoever's taking care of it at the time. Like, Sprigatito actually does love Liko. So Liko and Sprigatito are escaping. They actually get intercepted by the female explorer, and she calls out her Skarmory, and Liko and Sprigatito don't fold this time. They actually are ready to battle, so they do Leafage, and it's more like less of an attack but more of a distraction at this point. Just calls up a whole bunch of leaves, and then they use that as an opportunity to escape. And Amethio and Freed are battling. They're going crazy with it. Amethio's really getting into it with Ceruledge versus Cap. Once Liko does that Leafage move, that's basically Freed's signal that, hey, we're out of here. We're good to go. And then Freed and Cap jump onto Charizard's back, and they take off as well. So it pretty much seems like they got away. They're good. They're away from the Explorers. However, what we didn't see, or what they didn't see, is that there was another Explorer, because there were 3 of them, remember? So the third one actually put a tracker onto their airship so that they could actually make sure they're knowing where Freed and Liko and them are going even if they did get away, which they did. So, but now they're able to track them. So this definitely means that we're going to see more of them as the show goes on. So that's definitely one thing. So Frieda and Liko finally get back onto the ship, meet up with everyone else. And at this moment, this is when Liko is like, I'm so happy that I got you back, Sprigatito. I realized that, thinking about what my grandma said, I actually am on an adventure. I do have a Pokemon by my side. You are my Pokemon. I'm a trainer now. She accepts that she is now a Pokemon trainer because she is doing all of this. And because of that, she actually asked Freed and Cap, hey, can we be on adventures with you guys? Can I be a part of your team? The Rising Volt Tacklers is officially, like, she knows now that the team is called the Rising Volt Tacklers. So she's like, can I join the Rising Volt Tacklers? And Freed and Cap and all the rest of them are like, heck yeah, you can join our team. So that's really cool. We also hear Freed say that the whole deal with the Rising Volt Tacklers is they're a team that likes to uncover the mysteries of Pokemon, which we already know there's a lot of people out there. There's so many mysteries in the Pokemon world. But this group of people are, that's their whole deal. They just want to uncover the mysteries of Pokemon. So, that's cool. Liko's a part of the team officially now. They do their cool little secret handshake. And Liko, even though she went to school at the top of the show, which was also a whole thing that was a constant variable with Ash, he was never in school until like later in the series when he was going to school in like Alola for a little bit. But Liko actually was going to school, but now she's adventuring. But they retcon that by being like, hey, she's still going to school. She's just doing it remote. So she's going to be tuning in through her Rodon pad. So she still is still talking to her roommate and her Oshawott back in Kanto. And when they start school up again, she's just going to be going, but only she's going to be doing it like through virtual classes. So Liko isn't completely illiterate. She's going to still be in school. So that's like a funny little thing they had to touch on there. So last thing of the episode, we cut over to an island, which we haven't seen yet. And then we see Roy for the first time on screen in the show that's not in the opening of the series. So we now see where he lives. We're kind of seeing like what island he lives on. And he runs to the beach after that storm that passed from the previous episode. And then he finds the Rising Volt Tackler's flag that blew off of the ship on a beach near his house. And he's just like, it's always cool to find treasure after a storm. And then the episode cuts. So clearly we're going to be getting introduced to Roy in the next episode, the next main protagonist, main character in Pokemon Horizons. We already know he's going to be in the show because he's in all of the marketing. So I'm definitely looking forward to knowing what he's like as a character and seeing how he interacts with Liko, Sprigatito, and the others. So definitely energized to see how that goes. If you guys are also energized for more episodes of Pokemon Horizons, definitely tune in. I'm going to be talking more about the series as we go on here with the first batch of episodes that are now available to watch and binge on Netflix right now. So definitely leave a comment, like this video if you enjoyed it. If you are also energized for more Pokemon Horizons, if you're interested in anything else Pokemon anime or Pokemon in general, subscribe to Common RDW. We'll be checking out more Pokemon Horizons and other things Pokemon as the year goes on. So, just like I said last time, I'll catch you later, trainers. I'll see ya.